Today I'm going to discuss the effects on women after abortion. 37% of women who have an abortion report having an anxiety disorder after an abortion. 37%. 48% of women say that they have PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder after an abortion. And 50% of women report that they have serious psychiatric problems after an abortion. Almost every day lately we're seeing something in the news about abortion and how it's affected all the people in the world and how we need to legalize it or not legalize it. I never really thought about abortion until it affected me personally. My little sister Caitlin was 15 years old when she decided to get an abortion. Her then 18-year-old boyfriend decided to travel to another state and act as her stepbrother so that she could get that abortion. After the abortion, we noticed a lot of things changing about Caitlin. She wasn't as happy as she used to be. She was sad. She was depressed. She didn't want to go to school anymore. She was sad with life, and she didn't know if she had a purpose on life anymore. I really wish that Caitlin would have talked to us before she decided to get an abortion so that she understood the consequences that came with it and the lifelong problems that she would have with it. 10 years later, she now has several different problems. She's still suffering from depression. I really think that if she would have talked to my family and talked to a counselor or thought about other solutions other than an abortion, this would have prevented a lifelong sadness that has provoked on her. In this talk today, I first like to discuss the psychological effects that women have when they get abortions. Although physical side effects are common, psychological effects are much more common. Second, I'd like to talk about how abortion affects each person differently. Every woman is different and every woman feels things differently. It really just depends on if they have family members or they have a support system or if they need help and they go and get help. And third, I would like to talk about how education is key. We really need to discuss the things that are wrong with abortion and how it affects people and educate women that abortion isn't just a quick fix. It's it's killing a live baby, and we just need to talk about that and talk about the problems that come with it. So psychological problems are much more common than physical. As the abortion rate goes up, the amount of awareness of the psychological problems goes down, and that's the whole problem here. We need to discuss the problems, and we need to talk about them. Some psychological problems that come up often are PTSD, anxiety disorder, depression, stuff like that. They take themselves away from their families and they take themselves away from their friends because they don't feel like they're worthy of that. The CDC reported that the abortion rate is going up at a fast pace. The abortion rate for 2013 was 12.5 abortions for 1,000 children born. The abortion ratio was 200 abortions per 1,000 live births. That is crazy. 200 of the 1,000 live births that are happening on this world today are never happening because of abortions. Some other psychological problems are sadness. One of the biggest things that I read in the studies that I reported was how sadness affects these people, that they're sad and throughout their life they're thinking, what would have happened if I would have kept this baby? What would have happened if I was raising this child? So psychological problems are a lot more common, and we need to address those, and we need to think about what things we can help, some treatment options. Second, like I said, I wanted to talk about how abortion can affect each woman differently. The American Pregnancy Association left a comment that said abortion can affect each woman differently, and some women report a sense of relief after having an abortion. The reasons of relief also vary from woman to woman. So that is crazy to me that a woman could feel a sense of relief after having an abortion. It's crazy that you can do that, and it can feel like, I know, a weight off your shoulders. I don't know how it feels. I've never been through it, but that also varies from woman to woman. So some women might not feel that, but I think it's important to realize that every woman that receives an abortion is different. If you know of someone that has an abortion, it's important to take the individually and get treatment for them and find out what they need help with, what they specifically need help with. I think a big stigma is that depression can't be treated or anxiety can't be treated. But if you really look into it, we can find cures, not cures, but we can help these people that have abortions and have issues. We can rally around them and help them. So third, I think education is key. It's important to remember that there are so many sources out there. It's important for us to remember that we are the people that need to educate about this. We need to educate that you're going to go get an abortion and it's not going to be a quick fix. It's a lifelong problem, and it's not just going to be a one-day thing. It's going to be several days things. I think it's important also to educate about birth control. A lot of women don't really know the advantages of birth control, and they don't know how well it could prevent an abortion. Something that I read from Planned Parenthood that was crazy to me is they stated there are 2 ways of ending pregnancy: in clinical abortion and the abortion pill. Both are safe and very common. Planned Parenthood makes it seem like it's just you go in and this happens to be over, and that's crazy to me. I don't understand what causes that. People need to realize that this is a surgical procedure, that this is a life. You're going in for surgery. You're not going in just for a simple thing. I think that's important to remember, that this is a serious surgical procedure with several complications that could happen. One thing that we need to do is we need to educate about birth control. We need to educate how easy it is to take birth control, how many different kinds of birth control there are, and go from there. There are several different kinds of birth control. One crazy thing that I read, it's from Contraception and Healthy Sex, states of women having an abortion, 46% did not use contraception during the month they became pregnant. 8% of women never used a method of birth control, and 7% have had at least one abortion. If we are to educate about the importance of birth control, and we are able to tell women that birth control is easy to access, that it's safe to take, and that it will prevent these abortions, I really think that it would lower the rate of abortions. One important thing is to recognize the symptoms of abortion and make sure that we are aware of them, and making sure that once we see them, we promptly treat them. That could be if you're the person that got the abortion, if you are family members, if you see any type of symptom, they need to get help as soon as possible so it doesn't develop into these lifelong psychological problems. So like I said, just to recap, first, psychological problems is the number one type of problems that come with abortion. It's important to recognize those symptoms and get help. Second, it's really important that we realize that every woman is different, and every woman will get different symptoms from abortion, and we need to recognize those symptoms and once again get help. Education is key. It's our duty right now to help educate women about abortion and the problems that come with it. We should take the stand right now and help women and educate them about birth control. As the abortion rate goes up, the amount of awareness goes down, and we need to educate everybody.